Hello, my name is Ed Brown of Core Edge, Image, and Charisma Institute. Today I want to talk about the secrets to extraordinary self-discipline. Right now, you've either achieved a great deal in your life, or you're still trying to achieve, or you are dreaming of achieving. And so for those who want to achieve more, who have lacked the will or the self-discipline to move forward, this is for you. One of the things that I read some years ago by the eminent physiologist Ivan Pavlov, he said that as human beings, we're always moving towards pleasure and away from pain. So that if we're always moving towards pleasure and away from pain, all the things that we do, we have to have some sense of fun about it. We have to have some enjoyment behind it. We have to have some pleasure, if you will, about pursuing the thing that we want to pursue. And so I submit to you that whatever you are not doing isn't because you can't or don't will to do it. You don't have enough pleasure in the thing that you want to do to achieve it. So how do you actually achieve and condition yourself to move towards pleasure away from pain? A lot of times when we look at our lives and the conditioning that we've experienced over the course of years, we can get used to anything. You can get used to cancer after a while. But we are not necessarily ones to be conditioned to be comfortable in our pleasure when it produces some degree of pain. We really want to have that thing that we call the brass ring, to have the life that we want, to travel and drive the kind of cars and wear the kind of clothes and live where we want to live. Those are the things that we're really after, but the process to get there sometimes we don't see as pleasurable. For example, if you had to go back to school, how pleasurable is that for people who don't like school? If you had to work extra hours, how pleasurable is that if in fact working extra hours is not something you don't want to do when you want to go watch TV or go to some other event? These are the things that hold you back. So when you let your extraordinary abilities to have self-discipline, it has to be about the will as well as the pleasure of the process. And when I talk about the process that I've talked about in the past, it's really about understanding that everything you do from the time you get up to the time you go to bed has become your tradition or your process. You do probably the same thing on some level every day, day in and day out. And that's fine if it gives you the outcome you want. But if it doesn't give you the outcome you want, then you're only going to do the ritualistic aspect of churning every day for something you really don't enjoy, with a life that you're not really happy with. And so I'm going to give you a few things I believe will get you started on the track towards greater self-discipline. First and foremost, it's important to say that whatever system or process or tradition you have is either moving you forward or holding you back. Either you love going to the gym, eating right, reading, educating yourself, starting a new business, trying something new, or you don't. And they have this thing in business called opportunity cost. For every choice you make, you have to give something up. And I submit to you that when you give up the dreams and aspirations for what you really want to do, for something that's more comfortable, that the cost for the level of comfort, even though we want pleasure, this is more pleasurable, but this is cost. This costs too. And the cost that you have for the thing that you really don't want to do, in a long run, causes more pain. When you look at your life over 70 years, you start saying to yourself, why didn't I try that? Why didn't I ask that particular male or female to marry me? Why didn't I go after those dreams? And you say, well, what's the difference between self-discipline and asking those questions? Because when you have self-discipline, you have a self-esteem and you have self-confidence that you feel good about. And so first and foremost, you must understand that the choice you make each and every day has a cost. And as long as you want to pay the cost for the thing that you really want, that's fine. But if you pay the cost for something that you really don't want, the secondary or third door, not door number one, then that's a problem for you. Secondly, understand that when I say the process or the system, every idea, every process, every perspective has a system. That system is the subconscious mind germinating and moving you towards the thing that you want to attract or move towards. When you do those things each and every day as part of your process, whether you hit that bullseye every time, you're close to the bullseye, where if you don't hit the middle, you hit around it. And so anyone who has ever played darts knows that you can win a game by hitting around the dart, around the bullseye. Even if you don't hit the bullseye, you're close enough to win the game. And at the end of the day, you're trying to win the game. And so start loving the process by putting yourself in a position and going in the direction that you want to go, and assume all the energy and all the things that you do day and out. When you write it down and say, I'm going to do this and I can't not do it until it's done, you don't delete or you don't scratch out or erase anything until it's done. So that's going into the process, loving the process. And finally, have fun. A lot of times when you talk about, for those who are trying to lose weight, cheat days. A cheat day is saying that, you know what, I hate my 5 or 6 days, this one day I'm going to have an enjoyable eating day. And I submit to you that if you eat properly every day, having just amount of sodium, carbohydrates, protein, and sugars, and so on and so forth in your diet, no matter what you eat, you're always going to be okay because you're not overindulging. And so don't see life or the process as a way of, oh God, I got to do this once again, I really don't like this. Love the process, because it's just like, you remember when you were growing up and you saw the cereal commercials, and it was Captain Crunch or Cocoa Puffs or Fruit Loops, and then you saw the brand name, and then you went to maybe with a Kroger's or Stop and Shop for those on the East Coast, and you bought a off-brand name and you tasted the cereal and said, this don't taste like Fruit Loops or Cocoa Puffs or Frosted Flakes. It wasn't the fact that it didn't taste well. Your taste buds got used to the brand name as opposed to the off-brand name or generic brand. If you had to start off on the brand or the generic brand as opposed to the brand name, you would have liked generic or the off-brand as much as you like, or even more than the brand name. And so I submit to you that whatever you allow in your palate, your taste buds, your appetite to permeate, is the thing that you gravitate towards. Now, with my diet, I eat probably more stringent and more cleaner than the average person, if you will. So if you looked at my diet, you say, I don't eat tilapia all the time, or seafood or vegetables, whatever. I want to have a French fry. You can do those kind of things, but you look at my diet, you might say that's not fun. But when I determined I want to look a certain way and do certain things and feel a certain way in terms of going to the gym, for me it became fun. So you got to retransform, rethink, and reprioritize, that's a better word, reprioritize the things that you want to do to have a life that you are after. So look at these dynamics as ways of getting to self-discipline, not just because you're just going to be more in control, but you're going to have the life that you want because for the first time you start designing life based on your own image. So if your life is reflective of your own image, then you become a co-creator on the world stage. And what's better than that? Creating a life that you want and doing the things on your terms that you desire. And so when you look down this tab below, there's a 21-day opportunity for you to go through the process to learn how to be phenomenally and extraordinarily self-disciplined. And for the first time in only 21 days, you have all these things in the design of your life at your beck and call, and it's all for free. And so sign up now, and as time goes through the 21 days, definitely reach out to me and tell me how you like the process. And in the end, you'll get what you want, and I have done my job by allowing and affording opportunity to move you forward and encourage you to do the things you want in your life.